Alright guys, so today we started working our multi-set percent problems, and our focus was on commission and fees. So a commission is simply a sum of money that is paid to employees upon the completion of a task. So usually the task is selling a certain amount of like a good or a service, and commission is calculated by a percent of the amount of sales. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples together. Says Leanne works for a real estate company and her total sales last year were $310,000. Leanne makes a 4% commission on all sales. How much money did Leanne make last year? So in this case, commission is that part of the money that she is paid is based on how much sales she makes for the company, and she gets 4%. Okay, so this is a real world percent problem. So we're going to use part over whole equals percent over 100. And remember, writing out part over whole equals percent over 100, that is a step of your work. So you need to show me that you're using that. It's a real world problem. And then we're going to pick out the pieces that we know. Okay. We know that her total sales, okay, total is another word for whole. Her total sales were 310,000. So in the part for the whole, I'm going to put 310,000. Okay. I know that this spot is always 100 because percent's always out of 100. And I know she makes 4%, so we're looking for 4%, so I'm going to put 4 in the percent spot. Okay. The amount of money she made is our question mark. That's what we don't know. That's what we're looking for. And now we have a proportion that we know exactly how to solve. So we have 310,000 times 4. And then we're going to divide out our 100. And when we do that, we get that she made $12,400. That was the commission that she made. Okay. Let's take a look at another example. It says Jaden works for a shoe store and her total sales in March were $32,444. If she makes a 12% commission on all of her sales, how much commission did Jaden make in the month of March? Okay. So again, we need to set up our proportion. This is a real world problem. So we're going to use part over whole equals percent over 100. Okay. Now we need to pick out the pieces that we know. Okay. It tells us here that her total sales were $32,444. So that's the whole. That's the entire amount that she made for the company. Okay. We know that this spot right here is always 100 because percent is out of 100. And we know she makes 12% on all of her sales. So the part that she made, that's the question mark. That's what we're solving for. And so now we have proportions that we know how to solve. Okay, we can just cross multiply 32,440 times 12 and divide out our remaining 100. And when we do that, we get that Jaden made $3,893.28. Now remember, when we're dealing with money, if we need to round, we're going to keep 2 decimal places, so we'll round to 2 decimal places because money is always out to the hundreds. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at example 3. Example 3 says Jill sells a car. Okay. She makes a monthly salary of $3,200. She also makes a 6% commission in addition to her salary. So this is her salary, this is her base salary, this is what she makes. But in addition to that, on top of that, she makes 6% commission. So in January, she had a total sales of $45,500. How much total money did Jill make in the month of January? So what we have to do is we have to find the commission she made, and then we have to add it to her base salary or what she was going to make already. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our proportion. It's a real world problem, so we're going to use part over whole equals percent over 100. Okay, and we got to figure out the 4 pieces that we need. Okay, so this 3,200, we're going to work with that at the end because that is her base salary. We need to figure out 6% of her total sales. So it says that her total sales was 4,550, so that's our whole. It says that she makes 6%. So we know that this spot's always 100 because percent is out of 100. We know that the percent is going to be 6. And the part that she made in commission is the part that we're looking for. So we're going to take 45,500 times 6. And then we're going to divide out the 100, and that will give us her commission. So she made $2,730 in commission. Now, to get her total income, what we have to do is we have to take $2,730 and add it to her base salary or her monthly salary of $3,200. When we take her monthly salary, $3,200, plus her commission, 5,000 or 2,730, and we add it together, we get her total income of 5,930. Now, some pretty common misconceptions with these types of problems is that people forget to add them together at the end, and they just tell me what she made in commission. If it's asking for her total salary, then we have to go back and we have to add something together. So look for that keyword total and know that you're not done until you add those two together. Okay, so let's ask ourselves, like, what is a fee? A fee is a sum of money that you pay to be allowed to do something. So, like, for example, you have to, when you get your license, you have to pay a fee. Okay, typically the fee is a percentage of the total price of an item. So let's look at some examples. An example might be eBay charges a 5% fee on all clothing items that patrons sell. So if Liz sells a pair of jeans on the site for $24.99, how much will eBay charge her as a fee? Okay, so this is like when you're selling something, they charge you a percentage of what you are making, okay, as the fee. So to figure out what the fee is, or to figure out what she would pay as a fee, we're going to set up a proportion, a real world problem. So we're going to do part over whole equals percent over 100. Okay, let's pick out the pieces that we know. Okay, we know that she is selling for $24.99. So $24.99 is our whole. Okay, they charge a 5% fee. So this spot down here is always 100 because percent's always out of 100, and 5% is our fee. So to figure out what that would be in dollars, that's what we're looking for. Okay, that's our question mark. To solve, we're going to take $24.99 times 5 and then divide out the remaining 100. And when we do that, remember, when we're dealing with money, we need to keep our hundredths place. So we need to keep 2 decimal points. So we cross multiply and divide, and we get that the fee is going to be $1.25. Again, pay attention to that rounding. Make sure you're rounding correctly. So the fee is $1.25. So she's going to make $24.99, but that fee, she has to pay back $1.25. Okay. All right, let's look at another example. It says to replace a lost driver's license, the DMV charges a 12% fee. If the price of a new license is $32, how much is the fee for replacing a lost license? So again, to figure out what the fee would be, we're going to set up a real world proportion. Okay, so we're going to use part over whole is equal to a percent over 100. We're going to fill in the pieces that we know. Okay, I know that the price of a new license, or the whole price, is $32. So where the whole is at, that's where I'm going to put my 32. Okay, I know percent's always out of 100, so this spot is always 100. Okay, and the percent fee is 12%, so my percent is 12. Okay, to figure out what that fee would be out of 32, that's our question mark. That's what we're looking for. So now we can cross multiply 32 times 12, divide out the 100, and we get that the fee, the 12% fee, would be $3.84. Okay, again, pay attention to that rounding. You need 2 decimal points after your decimal place. Okay, all right, let's look at one more example. It says Jimmy sells handmade art. Jamie, sorry, not Jimmy. She makes her sales through PayPal, and PayPal charges her a 9% fee on all sales. So if Jamie sells a painting for $130, what is the profit that she will make after paying the PayPal fee? So this one is a 2-step problem. We have to figure out what the fee is, and then we have to figure out what she would make after paying that fee. So we're going to have to subtract out the fee from the total sales of $130 for her painting. Okay, so first off, we got to figure out what the percent is. So we're going to set up our percent proportion, and it's a real world problem. So we're going to use part over whole and set that equal to a percent over 100. Let's pick out our pieces that we know. We know that she is selling this painting for $130. So that's our whole, okay? We know that our spot down here is always 100 because percent's always out of 100. We know that PayPal charges her a 9% fee. So 9 goes in our percent spot, okay? And the fee, or the part that she's going to have to pay, is our question mark, okay? So we're going to cross multiply and divide 130 times 9 and divide out the remaining 100, okay? When we do that, we get that she has to pay an $11.70 fee, okay? To get her profit, or to get her income after the fee, we're going to take 130, which is what she charged for the painting, subtract the fee, $11.70, and we get that she makes $118.30 as her income. Okay, so that's that two-step problem. Make sure you pay attention for that second step.